All right, good morning, afternoon, or evening, people, whatever the case may be in your part of the world. I'm doing this video as a premiere, so by the time you see it, it will be Saturday afternoon, but I'm recording it on Friday night. And then after that, I need to take a break from YouTube because yesterday, on Thursday, February 26th, I got really pissed off at the trolls. I did a rant, and next thing you know, my head was pounding and felt like I was going to have a stroke. So I had to take a break in the middle of the live stream and smoke something that I don't want to talk about to calm down. But then after that live stream, I was just not feeling good with a headache. My head was pounding. Then I woke up in the morning, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm fucking puking my brains out, and all day today I've had a headache. I felt dizzy, so I don't know if that meant that I was on the verge of a stroke from having that from doing that Lewis Rodman Roseman or Rosman group video. So that's why I'm going to do this video as a premiere instead, because today is Friday the 26th. No, excuse me, it's Friday the 27th of February, and I just feel like I don't feel good at all. I really feel terrible. So, 3 days ago from when I'm recording this video, I put out this video. Here's more proof. You don't have to take my word for it. But I told you so. I put this video out, and I played a couple of videos from Richie from Boston about how the New World Order and everything wants to make it where eventually you need you need an ID, an internet license to access the internet. And not only when they give you that license, but if you dare say anything controversial, if you dare say anything anti-government, you can be charged, convicted, sent to jail, or have your internet license revoked. And in this video, I gave an example about how the twins, the twins, you know, the two giant buildings that were in Manhattan, the twins, okay? Because if I actually say what date we're talking about, YouTube will put a little banner at the bottom of the video. And I talked about how the twins was an inside job. But according to Murphy Law, we already know how Murphy's Law works. According to Murphy Law, you can never find the thing you're looking for at the time you're looking for it. So, of course, 3 days later, I found the proof that I was trying to find 3 days ago. 4 days for you guys by the time you watch this video tomorrow. But yeah, if you say controversial things, they can revoke your internet license and prosecute you for doing that. So, that's gonna make your First Amendment go see you later, bye bye, and that's gonna make all the First Amendment auditors go see you later, bye bye. So if you go to this video right here that I'm showing on the screen, at the 19-minute mark, I'm talking about it. At the 19-minute mark. Let's go to the 19-minute mark, shall we? And I'll play it again. All right? And this would actually get this would get your internet license revoked. Okay, listen to this part. Or you can wind up in prison if you say stuff like this after they put in a internet license. Okay, so let's get into it.
Just that the idea of CBDCs being a tool for financial inclusion, the public doesn't seem to believe that.
A tool for financial inclusion. I wonder what they mean there, huh? I wonder what they mean there. Let's continue.
right? In Nigeria, these people that ostensibly suffer from this identity gap, that suffer from financial exclusion, don't want the financial inclusion that they're being offered by the CBDC. They don't see any real benefit. They see it as a tool of the state. In the state in Nigeria and in other African countries where these sort of systems are being rolled out, the governments have abused these systems to go after journalists or other people.
Journalists and other people. Yeah. See, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. I haven't got to that part of the video yet. But they want to make it where you need a license to go on the internet. They want to make it where you need permission to use the internet to go out and order the police, to audit your government. And guess what? If the government doesn't like what your channel is saying during your First Amendment audits, guess what happens? Yeah, they're going to bring it, under the new system, they're going to be able to charge you and send you to jail. You'll be Eric Grant's cellmate. Is that what you want? Is that what you want with the digital currency? Because what they're talking about, when you get licensed for the internet, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about, where this comes into play. Remember the thing that happened to the Twin Towers? Does anybody remember the thing that happened with the Twin Towers? And the big old jetliner. Remember what happened there? Okay, because I'm trying not to talk about it. You've heard me say that either way, what happened to what happened to those two towers was an inside job. You've heard me say that on the channel before, right? Now everybody's going to say, Emo, either way you look at it, it's an inside job. Because during the Ronald Reagan administration, Ronald Reagan and the U.S. government gave millions of dollars to Osama bin Laden. Gave millions of dollars to Osama bin Laden so he could raise so he could raise to the power of what he had. The government gave him guns and ammo and all this shit. Go look it up. During the So at that point in the live stream, I decided to type into a Google search, did the U.S. give Osama bin Laden money? And of course, the internet browser, I cut that part out of the live stream, because the internet browser came up with an AI thing, came up with, I'm putting my socks on from just taking a shower, that's what I'm doing. Well, Google Gemini came up, and Google Gemini came up and said no such thing happened. And then I couldn't find the proof where the U.S. gave money to Afghanistan. See, if the U.S. didn't give money to Afghanistan, Ronald Reagan didn't give the U.S. If the U.S. didn't give money to Afghanistan, Osama bin Laden wouldn't have been a tenth the man of what he was. He wouldn't have had the power to come over here and take two planes and ram them into those buildings and say, up yours, after we helped him. Because that's what he did. And what I'm talking about now can get me thrown in prison once they put an internet license in. Because they don't like you talking about this shit. And at the time of making the video, I tried Googling it, tried to find the proof of where the U.S. gave these assholes money so they could come back with jet airliners and say, up yours! Thanks for your help, but up yours! Yeah, because that's basically what we gave money to Afghanistan. We gave money to Bin Laden. And in Afghanistan and Bin Laden flew planes into our buildings. And it's basically like the end of Independence Day where Randy Craig flies into the spaceship and says, up yours! No, the Taliban in Afghanistan, an organization that the U.S. gave money to, basically flew a plane into those buildings and then basically told the United States, thank you for your help. Now up yours. Yeah, that's basically what they did. And at the time of making this video, I tried Google searching it. It wasn't coming up on the Google search engine. It just wasn't coming up. It was fighting me tooth and nail. Well, 3 days later, I happened to find the video. 3 days later. Okay? So, here we go. Here's your sign. The video I couldn't find 3 days ago. 3 or 4 days ago when I needed it. But I found it tonight. Friday night. The 27th. But you're going to see this video when I premiere it tomorrow. Because I'm sure I'm out of notifications for Friday. Because I posted so many videos over the last few days. So I'll premiere this Saturday night. So I know people can see it. Okay? So that's what I said the other day. Now let's continue. Wait a minute. The U.S. gave that regime money. And then they use that money to gain power. They use that money to gain wealth and financial stability. And then what was their thank you? They came over and attacked New York. Okay? Just wanted to finish where I made the point in the video 4 days ago. Alright. Now I made this video back in 2023 called The United States of China, where I talked about, because China was getting ready to attack the United States, and I said, if China decides to come over and attack the United States, we deserve it. Because of all the things that we have stuck, all the things the U.S. has stuck its nose in that we should have never stuck our nose in. And I couldn't find this video like I said, 3 days ago, but I found it now, so we're gonna play it now, okay? All right, and this is where I believe the Twin Towers was an inside job. Okay, all right, let's get into it, shall we? I'm gonna mute and I'm gonna play this video that I made back in 2023. Here we go. That the U.S. has done to people in the past. And this is why I say, if we get taken over, we deserve it. All right, so let's get into the fucking movie now. All right. The first guy you're going to see is a guy that works at Lockheed Martin, and he makes this statement. So, yeah, watch this movie real good. All right, so here we go.
Societies and countries and governments do things that annoy one another. But we have to learn to deal with that annoyance or that anger or that frustration in appropriate ways. We don't get irritated with somebody and just because we're mad at them, drop a bomb or shoot at them or fire a missile at them.
So the U.S. doesn't just drop a bomb on people or attack somebody that they're mad at them, right? Okay, here's where the copyright infringement comes, because they play a little bit of Louis Armstrong in the background. So hopefully with this part I will be able to be seen on YouTube. If it's not, we will put it on BitChute. In 1953, the U.S. overthrows the Prime Minister of Iran. Okay, there we go. There's one.
I see trees of green.
The U.S. installs a, what's that name? Says as dictator. The U.S. installs the first dictator in Iraq. So we helped turn Iraq into a dictatorship. Did you just see that? We just overthrew the government, and then the U.S. installs a dictator to the head of fucking Iraq. Let's continue. Yeah, and then, all right, so continuing on, more things that the United States did. So in 1954, the U.S. government overthrows the democratically elected president. How do you spell that name? Benz Guatemala. Is that the country? All right, Guatemala. So they throw out a democratic elected official, a president of Guatemala. They throw him out in 1954, and this is what they do. They killed that many civilians in the process. To overthrow this guy, they killed that many people. Okay? Good old United States for you. Good old United States of America. How do you love it? Hallelujah with the fucking red, white, and blue stars and stripes waving in the background behind it. Okay? All right, in 1963, the U.S. backs the assassination of South Vietnamese president. Okay? So, again, the U.S. got involved in the assassination of backs the assassination of a South Vietnamese president.
And I think to myself, what?
All right, from 1963 to 1975, the American military kills 4 million people in Southeast Asia, a place we never should have been in the beginning. 1963 to 1975, the military kills 4 million people in Southeast Asia.
A wonderful world.
On September 11, 1973, the U.S. stages a coup in Chile. I always pronounce it coup. That's how it's spelled to me, so that's how I pronounce it. But we know it's a military coup is the actual way to pronounce it, but I call it a coup because I don't know. I spell things the way they're pronounced to me. That's what I do. I spell things the way they sound to me. Like there's no such thing as a Chevrolet. It's a Chevrolet, okay? Because I spell things the way they are. There's no such thing as a Grand Prix car. It's a Grand Prix car. Okay, that's the way I pronounce things. Don't like it? Fuck off. All right, back to where we are at. In 1973, the U.S. stages a coup in Chile. The Democratic elected president is assassinated. Again, another country with a Democratic elected official. The person was assassinated. Okay?
I see skies of blue.
And then the U.S. takes out somebody who is like us with fucking that word I just said, I can't pronounce it again. So they take out somebody who was democratically elected, and and what did they install again? A dictator, plebo! Another dictator the U.S. installs. Another fucking dictator. And that's how many Chileans are murdered. All because the U.S. had to get in something they didn't belong in. In 1977, the U.S. backs military rulers in El Salvador. Yeah, that one I know how to pronounce. I've seen that word before. So in 1977, the U.S. backs military rulers in El Salvador. Blessed day, the doxxing night. And that's how many people were killed, ladies and gentlemen. That's how many fucking people were killed. And I think to myself, in the 1980s, the U.S., here's the Lulu of all times. The Lulu of all times. Here we go. In the 1980s, the U.S. are trained who? The U.S. trained who? Didn't I tell you we were going to talk about Osama bin Laden? Here we go. Osama bin Laden. Here it is. Here it is. 1980s, the U.S. trained Osama bin Laden, right? And then what did he do after the U.S. fucking trained Osama bin Laden? Took a bunch of planes and crashed them into everything and said, "Up yours, United States of America! Up yours! Thanks for the training! Up yours, United States of America! There's your inside job of what happened on that Tuesday morning." Into the Twins by the Big Jetliners. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. There's the inside proof that 9 was an inside job. That's what I was trying to tell you the other day in that driver's license video. Now, the government doesn't like me talking about this shit. So when they make an internet license where you have to be licensed to be on the internet, if I say the shit I'm saying right now, guess what would happen to my internet license? It would be revoked. And I would be like that, and then the government would be like that meme, you know, the black guy that goes like this: "You're going to jail, emo. You're going to jail, emo. You're going to jail." Okay. If you so much as think about talking this way, when they put the new laws in for the internet, which I tried to warn you about 3 or 4 fucking days ago. This is the shit that will get the government to throw you off the internet. This is the shit right here that will revoke your internet license. And you could possibly be doing jail time for it. Yeah, this is what I was talking about in that video. So, there's your inside connection, people. To 9/11, I told you so. I was right. So so you got these conspiracy theorists that believe that the U.S. imploded the buildings. That's one of the conspiracy theories. That the U.S. imploded the buildings. Oh, because nothing hit Building 7, so why did Building 7 come down when nothing hit Building 7? Oh, and if you look at the buildings, the way they fell, they look like they were imploded. That's one fucking theory for you right there. The other theory is the U.S. trained this maggot. They trained Osama bin Laden. They turned Osama bin Laden into the person he was to come back to the United States and fly a plane into those buildings and say, thanks for the training, United States, but up yours. Yeah. There's the other inside job that I was trying to tell you. So whether they put stuff in the building and imploded it, where people believe that inside job rumor, or if it was an attack by bin Laden, well, who trained bin Laden? The United States. So therefore, the United States is guilty because they trained the fucking asshole to come back to the United States and say, up yours. And I couldn't find this video the other night when I was talking about it 3 or 4 days ago. I couldn't find this video. It's funny how I find the video. I find the fucking video after 2 or 3 days after I was bitching about it. So either way, the United States is involved. Either way you look at that whole scenario, the United States is an inside partner of the twins and the big jet airliner, because they trained this asshole. They trained that fucking asshole. This is what I tried to tell you the other night. And when we have to have a license to get on the internet, this is the shit that they don't want on the internet. So guess what happens to Emo when he tries to discuss this shit? You're going to jail. You're going to jail. Yeah. Or your license is revoked. Your license is revoked. Ah, shit. I'm having a good time tonight. Having a great time tonight. So we got... Alright, people. So, of course, as you can see, I'm editing the video, which you're going to see on Saturday afternoon, right? Because it's Friday night. I'm recording a video for Saturday, February 28th. And it's funny how you'll be listening to yourself and you'll be editing the video, and then you'll go, oh, I got to come back in here with one more point I forgot to make. So right here where this black space is, that's where I'm going to put this part of the video. And finish up what I was just talking about in the video that's going to be premiering when you see it. So, like I said, I'm talking about things you won't be able to say when the government makes it that you have to have a license to use the internet. Because of some of the things that I said previously in this video, which I am editing now, is also the same reason. The same reason why the U.S. government has attacked me. That's right. You've heard me do many videos how I believe a lot of my trolls are paid by the government to destroy me. Because what I just said about Osama bin Laden in this part of the video, they don't want me saying stuff like this. This is why they had to ruin Emo Hollywood before he could become an influencer on the internet. And like I said, I believe that a lot of my trolls on the internet were hired by the CIA, the FBI, and the three-letter agencies because they don't like what I just said about the big old jet airliners, about the United States training Osama bin Laden, about the United States turning him into a dictator so he could come over here and attack us. They don't like, the government doesn't like it when I say that Kennedy was not assassinated by Oswald. It was the mob and the CIA that killed Kennedy. See, when I talk about the Twin Towers and I talk about the government. This is the shit they don't like. And this is why I believe that a lot of my trolls that I have on the internet who were deliberately paid to attack me. And you've heard me do other videos about this. This is why I was trolled so badly. Because the U.S. government, when I tell you the truth about the Twin Towers and Up Yours, and when I come here and tell you the truth about JFK, and when I tell you the truth about how the U.S. murdered everybody in Waco. See, they don't want me saying that shit. That's why the government has paid all these people to troll me. It's government censorship. It's government silencing. And see, they paid all these MAGA trolls to come after me. They paid all these people like Andrew Brain and all these people to come after me, and because they're being paid by the government because they don't like when I talk about conspiracy theories and how bad the U.S. is dirty and how corrupt the U.S. government's dirty. See, this is why the U.S. government had to ruin my channel, people. Yeah. Andrew is being paid by the FBI to destroy me. Most of the Masshole report is all FBI agents, cops, and CIA agents. Yeah, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Most of my trolls are paid. Oh, tatted aviator, somebody who works in the military, but yet he's gonna come over and attack good old emo, right? He's gonna come over and attack good old emo. Why? Because he was paid to by the U.S. government. He's a paid government troll. Ernie Chrysler, even though he's in Canada, he's probably, his organization of haters, trolls, and naysayers are probably getting paid by the CIA to troll my ass. Okay? I'm sure Gary Snowflake was getting paid by the government too. So, yeah. So far, with them trolling me, they haven't gotten me off the internet. But when they make it where you need a license to use the internet, I hate calling it a driver's license, an internet license where they can revoke and shut it off at any time and kick your access off the internet because they believe you're pushing misinformation and government shit that they don't want you to be exposing, right? Then they'll be able to finally get rid of me. See, but right now the government is paying people to troll me. There's no doubt in my mind that the U.S. government is paying people to troll me and my accounts. Because the government doesn't like it when I talk about the Twin Towers up your ass. They don't like that. And other conspiracy theories. So, and they know that, yeah, the government has successfully paid trolls to go after certain people, and they have been successful at driving people off the internet. But they're not going to be successful at driving me off the internet. The only way they'll get me off the fucking internet is when they put this fucking license in place and say, Emo, we don't like the things you say about the government. License revoked. You're out of here. But yeah, we don't like what you said, so we're going to prosecute you. And Emo, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. Yeah. That's what the U.S. government wants, because they don't want me to tell you the truth about Up Yours. So I thought I would insert that in here, because I believe that 90% of my trolls are being paid by the government to destroy me. All right, now I'm going to get back into editing this video, and where you see this big hole, where you see this hole right here, will be at this part of the video, because that's where this little snippet's going right in between here. Okay? All right. So, let's get back into the video, shall we? Involved in teaching him how to be a goddamn tyrant and a terrorist. That's right. The U.S. trained this motherfucker. The U.S. backed this guy in the 80s, only to turn on him in the 1990s. Again, Saddam Hussein, or not Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden wouldn't have been as powerful as he was if the U.S. didn't train him, right? So, who's responsible for Osama bin Laden flying 2 motherfucking planes into the motherfucking World Trade Center? Who's responsible for that? The U.S. fucking government. So I'll read it again. In the 1980s, the U.S. trains Osama bin Laden how to become the terrorist that he is. Hallelujah. Backed again with the stars and stripes waving in the fucking breeze as thousands of people died by the U.S. military yet again. And the U.S. government yet again. What I want. They trained him to kill fellow terrorists and Soviets. That's what they trained him to do. But no, he later used his training to fly 2 fucking planes into the World Trade Center, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and look, the CIA gave him $3 billion. And basically said, America, thank you for training me. Up yours. I love it when I'm right. I love it when I'm right. I love it when I'm right. Told you so. Told you so. And when they put in that digital license to get on the internet, this shit will get you banned from talking on the internet. Sure will. And I apologize that I rewound it, but I went to hit the pause button, not rewound, but I clicked on the wrong spot because I was clicking up here on VLC player, but I was supposed to click down here on YouTube. So I will leave this video that my previous video. It's on private right now, but I will republish it, and I'll leave the link in the bottom of in the description of this video. But I told you so. And what was the other thing I told you so? Didn't I tell you so that the U.S., the CIA gave Osama bin Laden money? Well, guess what it says in the next clip, people, and that's why I tried to pause the video and it rewound on a tangent on me. But yeah, he is the brute that the U.S. gave this. Not only did they train this asshole to have him come over to the United States and say, up yours with big old jet airliners, but they also gave him fucking money too. Yeah. Because watch the next slide, people. Watch the next slide. This is what I was talking about in that video 3 days ago. The CIA gives him $3 billion. $3 billion. $3 billion. But yet, when I Googled it 2 days ago, according to the Google AI and everything and all the websites on the that showed up in the Google search, and this is why I took the Google search out of the original video, because when I tried to search it 3 or 4 days ago, that Jeremy and I said, well, The CIA did not do no such thing. That's what they told me 3 days ago. Matter of fact, I'm going to look it up in my search engine from 3 days ago. History. That was the one I searched today when I was trying to find it. Because it's been bugging me for 3 days. Well, especially when I had when I knew I had the proof somewhere and I couldn't find it. Do you realize how much that was annoying me? Do you realize how fucking annoying that was? To know that I knew I had the information and I couldn't find it. But anyway, when I tried to search this 3 or 4 days ago, it kept coming up in the Google search engine that the CIA did not give him money. But what does this movie say? This money says they did. So who is telling the truth and who is lying? So there's your proof. There's your proof. See, yeah, it's only letting me go back to yesterday because I cleaned out all my fucking history. But I typed it in. Did the CIA give Bin Laden money? And it told me no 3 times. When I did this video 3 or 4 days ago, it told me no. But yet this movie says yes, they did. So who's playing who? Oh, see? But when you search it in Google, what does it say? Did the U.S. give money to Bin Laden? This is the same answer I got 3 days ago when I couldn't find it. Same fucking answer I got 3 days ago when I couldn't find it. Did the U.S. give money to Bin Laden? And then this fucking Gemini piece of shit says this. That's what Gemini said. So the other day when I searched it on Google, this is the answer I got. This is the answer I got from Google and its AI. Okay? When I scroll down, all of these links down here denied allegations of it doing it, but they're all saying it. But most of these websites down here deny that it happened. Denied that it happened. This is what I was getting when I tried to search it the other day after I made that statement that the big old jet airliner, the UPYOURS incident was an inside job. Okay? Because this is what the search engine says. There's no credible evidence. Okay, so if there's no credible evidence, then why do we... If there's no credible evidence, then why do we got this over here, people? Why do we got this over here? Let's play it again. Let's play it again, shall we? Let's play it again. Here's your inside job. In the 1980s, the United States trains... Who? Who did the United States train? Who? Who did they train? Who? Okay. Osama bin Laden wouldn't have been as powerful as he was if the U.S. didn't train him, right? So, who's responsible for Osama bin Laden flying 2 motherfucking planes into the motherfucking World Trade Center? Who's responsible for that? The U.S. fucking government. So I'll read it again. In the 1980s, the U.S. trains Osama bin Laden how to become the terrorist that he is. Hallelujah. back again with the stars and stripes waving in the fucking breeze as thousands of people died by the U.S. military yet again. And the U.S. government yet again. What I want. They trained him to kill fellow terrorists and Soviets. That's what they trained him to do. But no, he later used his training to fly 2 fucking planes into the World Trade Center, ladies and gentlemen. And told the U.S. government, thanks for the help, but up yours! Up yours! Up yours! Bend over! Up yours! That's what he told the United States. After the United States helped this scumbag, he comes over here, he grabs 4 of my fucking planes, and then he fucking says, up yours! United States of America! Up yours! On top of that, the U.S. government gives him $3 billion. $3 billion. To make so this asshole could come back to the United States and say, up yours. I'm overkilling that line tonight. I know I'm overkilling the line, but I'm trying to make a point here. I'm trying to make a point. Oh, and look, the CIA gave him $3 billion. That doesn't surprise me. The U.S. paid for that. The U.S. paid to train this asshole, then flew 2 planes into the World Trade Center, right? So yeah, so everybody thinks that the 9/11 thing was an inside job. They think the U.S. government did it, right? They think somebody in the U.S. government planted. The U.S. government did it. What do you think they put moms in the building and imploded the fucking buildings? Or it really was Osama bin Laden's terroristic regime? Either way, the U.S. had a hand in it. Either way, the U.S. is guilty as charged. Either way, it makes the United States guilty of making it an inside job. And like I said, when the driver's license for the internet comes out, I'm not going to be able to say this shit on the internet. My trolls will be like, Emo's going to jail. He's going to jail. He ran his mouth. Now he's going to jail. Yeah, so you guys think that the internet driver's license, the digital ID to get on the internet is going to be a joke. It's not going to be a joke. Because what I just said could get me prosecuted when the new internet comes out. When the new internet comes out, where they can control, and the new monetary system comes out, where everything's on a digital currency, and you need a license for the internet. And they say, and you want to buy a pack of cigarettes, and they say, no, you can't buy a pack of cigarettes because you smoke too many of them, and your fucking carbon tax is too high, so you're not allowed to buy cigarettes. If you're on food stamps, you're not allowed to buy junk food. You can't buy a bag of chips because we decided. You're a fat ass. You're not allowed to buy a bag of chips because we decided. You have too much of a carbon footprint this month, so you can't buy fucking gasoline. When they make it where the fucking money expires. When they make it where you need a license to get on the internet. And all these people, what I said 3 days ago in that previous video, I'm gonna link this video that I'm showing on the screen and the one from 3 days ago in case you missed it, so you can go back and watch it. Now you may notice that the title of this video says "Bowling for Columbine. The inside job exposed." Why does it say "Bowling for Columbine? The inside job exposed"? Because the clips of this Bin Laden clip comes from the movie Bowling from Columbine. It's a 2010 documentary made by Michael Moore. That's where I found out that 9/11 was an inside job. It's a Michael Moore film, and it's called Bowling for Columbine. And that's why I used the title of his movie for the title of this video, because I want everybody to know what the name of the movie is, so you guys can go watch it for yourself. Where it proves that inside that 9/11, where it proves the incident with the big old jet airliners was an inside job, where somebody said, "Thank you for your training, United States of America, but up yours! Up yours!" I can't stress that enough. So if we get rid of this, I didn't say play that, I said shrink. No, I know that's a video I haven't watched yet, so ignore that on the screen. I know I just had it on one of these browsers. Alright, so I'm going to have to look it up again. Alright, I'm stand corrected. It's a 2002 documentary. That's the movie you need to go see if you want to see that clip about all the underhanded things the United States did. All the underhanded things that the United States of America should have never fucking put their fucking hands into. And I'll throw another one. Trump is a jackass. He never should have went into Venezuela either. That was another country the United States shouldn't have fucked with. Just saying. Of course, that happened recently, so that wasn't on the list. From the bowling for Columbine. The proof of an inside job. There you go. That's what I'm going to call this video. The bowling for Columbine. The inside job. Because I want to share this documentary out there, and I want everybody to get it. So go look for it. I dare you. And there's about a 40-minute list of all the shit the United States has stuck their nose in when they don't belong sticking their nose in it. But I tried to tell you 3 days ago that the whole thing with the big jet airliners was an inside job. Also, another good documentary that you might want to check out on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's called The Fifth Plane. There was another plane that was supposed to take off about 10-something in the morning. And after the Pentagon incident happened, and after 93, Flight 93 was discovered that it was taken over, okay, the U.S. banned all commercial travel. They made all the fucking planes come in for a landing. Remember that? They made all of the planes come in for the landing. There is a documentary on YouTube called The Fifth Plane. In a fifth plane in JFK, they found another plane that had hidden razor blades in it, which is also supposed to be another New York to LA flight. But that one never got off the ground, see, because before that one could get off the ground, they had already grounded the United States airspace. So if they didn't shut down the United States airspace and make all the planes come in for a landing, yeah, there would have been a fifth plane that went out. There would have been a fifth plane that would have got taken over. And God knows where that one was supposed to go. And the only reason why the fifth plane got furled is because the United States immediately ordered all airliners to land immediately. And the flight got canceled before it could even get off the ground. Yeah. But there was almost a fifth plane, people. It was almost a fifth plane. So I want people to go watch this documentary, 2002 documentary, and it will have the video section in there with a wonderful world playing in the background of all the shit the United States stuck their nose in that they should have never stuck their nose in.
Ow.
Yeah. And this is why I say, if China was to come over here and attack us, we deserve it. If another country comes over here and takes us over, we deserve it. We stole this land from the Native Americans. And we've had a 250-year run where hardly nothing has happened here on American land. But if we get taken over one day by one of the countries we fucked with, or by a dictator we put in power, or a government that we overthrown, if that ever happens, then we fucking deserve it. And that's why, at the time, China was threatening to come after. China was coming to threaten. You really have to do that now. China was threatening to come over to the United States and take us over. So that's why my original title of that video that I was just showing was called The United States of China. So I'm going to republish that video. And I'm going to publish the video from 3 or 4 days ago. But like I said, today is Friday, the 27th. You guys will see this video tomorrow. I will set it as a premiere tomorrow. I am taking time off of YouTube because I've had for the last 14, 15 hours, I've had a pounding headache. I've been dizzy. I've been puking. I don't know if it was the stress from me blowing my cock on Thursday afternoon, or maybe I was on the verge of having a stroke. But then again, these motherfucking MAGA trolls wouldn't care if I had a stroke, would they? They wouldn't care if I had a stroke. Of course not. So I decided I'm going to record this tonight on Friday night, take the rest of the weekend off. I'll see you. I'll see you in the future on another live stream when I feel up to doing another live stream. But as for right now, I just feel like putting this premiere out for tomorrow. So you'll be seeing this on Saturday afternoon, February 28th, where it was actually recorded on February 27th All right, 2026. And as always, if you can't speak freely, you're simply not free. And remember, you're not going to be able to speak free on the internet, because if they don't like what they're saying, they're going to take your license away once they move over to the licensed program for the internet. But anyway, again, if you can't speak freely, you're simply not free. Show is over. Wolf is tired. See ya. And as always, stay safe, be well, take care of yourself and each other.